Almost Famous with John Shea. Featuring local and independent musicians from the South Shore, Boston, and New England. On 95.9 WATD.
Welcome to the Tiny Stage Hour of Almost Famous 95.9 WATD, introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across New England. Brought to you by Tiny and Sons Glass. My name is John Shea. First things first, if you're a local musician with original music you'd like to hear on the radio, get in contact with me. You can find all the information on the Almost Famous page at 959watd.com. You can also follow us tonight on Facebook and Instagram at Almost Famous Radio. And if you're into podcasts, we have one of those as well. You can subscribe at almostfamousradio.com or by searching Almost Famous Radio on your favorite podcast app. So we are on the tiny stage tonight, and we're being joined in studio by singer-songwriter Jayden Westland. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So you've been here before, not on this show, but you've been to the radio station before.
Yes, a couple of years ago.
So for those who might not be familiar with you, give an introduction.
Well, I'm 24 years old. I was born and raised on the Cape, and I've been singing since I was pretty much born, playing guitar since I was 9, and playing out at local gigs for a couple of years now, probably since I was 20.
So you mentioned music has been in your life for a while. Talk about that.
My mom's a singer, my dad's a guitarist, my sister's a singer, and my brother's a drummer.
Wow, that's a lot of music.
It is a lot. My whole life I've been surrounded by it. Anything from opera when I was a kid up until country pop, which is current. So I've really been lucky to have been so surrounded by it, and I've been very motivated by my family and my parents especially.
And I want to thank you, too, because back over the fall I had fellow Cape Cod singer-songwriter and now Nashville-based artist Morgan Johnston on the tiny stage, and she very graciously came here to record an interview just before her sound check at the Cohasset Music Circus. So thank you very much for that connection.
Yes, she's amazing.
So what is your very first musical memory growing up?
Oh my goodness, that is a great question. I want to say when I was a kid, probably 8 to 10 years old. I can't think of when exactly. I remember doing kind of like a local open mic karaoke of a Kelly Clarkson song. And I just remember like this black and white picture of me going up and singing. And it was just, I think that's probably the first like real time I ever like performed as a kid.
That's cool.
Yeah.
At what point did you realize that this is what you wanted to do?
Oh boy, honestly, since I was a kid, just being surrounded by my parents and my whole family. And I literally used to sing opera with my mom from the movie The Phantom of the Opera. I would sing it around the house with her, and I actually sang like one of the songs from it at my great-grandmother's funeral, and it was just always very connected to me my whole life, really.
Now, did you go to school for music too?
I didn't actually. I took my like local like chorus class like in middle school actually, but that was just 7th and 8th grade. Other than that, I've just been pretty much on my own ever since then.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You've got the guitar with you tonight. Is guitar your first instrument?
Yeah. Yep. It is the only instrument I know for now.
That's great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we have Jayden Westland on the tiny stage, and let's just jump right into your first song. What are we listening to first tonight?
All right. My first song is called Tequila Loves Me, and I wrote it because, as a lot of my friends know, I love tequila. I actually figured I'd just write a song about it. It's a very witty, personal song, I guess, so it's a little goofy.
Hoping for an endorsement?
I'm hoping. Oh, yeah. Preferably Patron.
Cool. Jayden Westland, the tiny stage is yours, 95.9 WATD.
Thank you. Let me tell you something, I've got a few friends and some of them will hurt me in the end, but I've got one who will never do that. She's supportive of me and the choices that I make. In fact, she gives me ideas in the first place, and she makes me feel good about myself every day. Everyone needs a friend like tequila. She'll look you in the eye and say, I feel you. Inspire you to take her shot when you hesitate. She'll take you out for a fun night. Hopefully won't get you in any fights, and be careful, cause she makes you feel frisky. But love tequila, and tequila loves me. She always convinces me at every bar there's one guy that looks better than them all. Sometimes she's right, others she's so wrong. She makes me go woo to every song as loud as I can, whether I sing it or not. Let me tell you, karaoke's my favorite part. Everyone needs a friend like tequila. She'll look you in the eye and say, I feel ya. Inspire you to take your shot when you hesitate. So take you out for a fun night. Hopefully won't get you in any fights. And be careful, cause she makes you feel frisky. But hey, that's why I love tequila, and tequila loves me. She might not be everyone's cup of tea, so maybe they should stick to their whiskey. Everyone needs a friend like tequila. She'll look you in the eye and say, I feel ya. Inspire you to take your shot when you hesitate. So take you out all night. Hopefully won't get you in any fights. And be careful, cause she makes you feel frisky. But hey, that's why I love tequila. Oh, hey, that's why I love tequila, and tequila loves me. Oh, and tequila loves me.
Jayden Westland, 95.9 WATD. Cheers. Nice job on that.
Thank you very much.
Talk about the story behind how that one was written.
Oh my gosh. I just love, like, every time I'm going out and playing, like, if ever I get really nervous before a gig, I walk up to the bartender and I'm like, can I just have a shot of tequila? And of course they say yes to me. And it just kind of takes the edge off. I don't know. It's always been my go-to alcohol. It sounds like I'm an alcoholic, but I swear I'm not. I don't know. It's the only alcohol I can drink. And I think it's a very quirky song because every time I say I'm going to sing that song, all the girls in the room are like, yes, I love tequila. It's my favorite. And all the guys are like, nope, like, it's going to make me fight someone. Like, it's just the funniest, like, contradiction. And so actually that's why I put in the bridge, like, she's not everyone's cup of tea, so maybe they should stick to their whiskey, because a lot of people just don't like it and doesn't agree with them. So I think that's kind of why it makes it funny, and it's just very, very me.
And I like how you gave tequila a gender.
Yes. Oh, of course.
So you're obviously a country songwriter on the Cape. That must be an interesting situation.
It is. It's definitely very different. A lot of people, I feel like, have warmed up to the thought of country, especially new country, or if you have Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, like, it's very, like, hot and cold like that. But I feel like I have such a mix of different music in my set list when I play out. Like, I can play Tom Petty and Britney Spears and Maroon 5, and I can do everything kind of in between. So I feel like introducing country, it's been a lot easier to kind of mix it up. But it's definitely been a lot easier, I think, as time has gone on, especially with my generation of just being very open to the idea of newer pop country and whatnot, and knowing still the older stuff.
Speaking of which, I was reading a few interviews with you, and I read an article that said you visited Nashville quite a few times.
Yes. Yep.
What keeps you here on the East Coast?
Oh, it is so tough. It really is, like, my family, my friends. I love the scenery of the East Coast. Like I love living on the Cape. It's so beautiful. I have the beach. I go up to the mountains a lot to go snowboarding. So I've been planted here for my whole life. So it's definitely tough to just get up and move. And I am lucky I get to play out all the time and have the ability to go out and do that and pursue the music career without having to just drop everything in my life and move somewhere else. But
I've heard many people say that when they go to Nashville, there's like a million versions of them out there.
Yes, it really is intimidating. It's like here I feel like a big fish in a small pond, and there I would be the small fish in a big pond, which is great both ways. It's different experiences both ways, but it's so cutthroat there, and it is great for experience and for learning. So I do plan on eventually moving there. It's just kind of getting the baby steps to get there, and I like to progress at my own pace. It's,
Absolutely. What do you like most about the music community that we have here in Massachusetts on the Cape, the South Shore?
I love how different it is. It's so broad. Like, there's so many different artists I know. Like, I know, like, the Quins from the South Shore, and they're, like, the awesome, like, rock and roll. Like, it's great. And then you have the Elevators that are reggae. Like, it's all over the place, and it's just very diverse. And everyone is very, very friendly about it and not really competitive about it. Like, they are to a point, but I feel like we all support each other very well, and it's very healthy. And,
I would agree.
It's awesome. I really do enjoy it.
And I know that you're working on some music with our mutual friend, Jeff Rosen.
I am, yeah. Yep, I'm planning on doing an EP with him. We write together pretty often, whenever we can get together, and he's been working on a studio so much of really getting it together to record for everyone. So I'm really excited to be able to work with him again and have that free time to do that with him.
And a brand new single that just dropped last week.
Yes, yep, I will be playing that at the end.
That sounds great. So knowing what you know about Nashville, knowing what you know about the music community that we have here, is there anything you would change about what we have here?
I really think the only thing that's hard for me personally as a songwriter is finding other people to write with. It's definitely tough because I'm from the Cape, which is pretty separated from the South Shore, at least like in community-wise. Like, I can come up here and see everyone. I do feel a little bit out of the loop sometimes. It's tough to like have that balance. But I mean, other than that, everything is awesome. It's really just as like songwriting for me. Just branching out it can be tough getting communicating with other people and just getting in the door with them.
That's Jayden Westland, our guest tonight on the tiny stage. And yeah, I've heard that from several people, so you're not alone in that ballpark.
Hook them up with me.
I'll do my best, absolutely. Let's do another song. What are we listening to next?
All right, this next song is called Intimacy. I wrote the song because I really hate the thought of the hookup culture that I'm always in. So I wanted to write it that it's okay to want to be loved and to be with someone else and not always go out to a bar and just look for your one-night stand.
That's beautiful. Let's hear it. We have Jayden Westland on the tiny stage, WATD. It's all yours.
Everyone's so scared of a change in the air. People run away when someone wants to stay. If we were made to love, then why do we give up on every little thing to avoid our break? I wish I could just understand why my generation's like that. Every night at every bar, people look for casual, like it's bad to want someone who just feels like they're at home. Will someone please explain to me why I feel so guilty for loving the security and craving intimacy? Everyone's so glued to the thought of being used. Why be selfless when you can be selfish? I'll stick to roses and dinner for two. Maybe someday a man will choose my way. I wish I could just understand why my generation's like that. Every night at every bar, people look for casual, like it's bad to want someone who just feels like they're at home. Will someone please explain to me why I feel so guilty for loving the security and craving intimacy. Every night at every bar, all I see is casual. Like it's bad to want someone who just feels like they're at home. Will someone please explain to me why I feel so guilty for loving the security and craving intimacy?
That's awesome. Jayden Westland on the tiny stage, 95.9 WATD. Talk about how that one happened.
I actually went through a breakup, big shocker, about 2 years ago. And I just got into the dating world and I just realized how horrible it is. And just people don't take you seriously. People play with your emotions. And it's just it's really tough, especially for my generation and my age. Like, I walk into a bar, like I said earlier, and just everyone's looking for like that one night thing. And I've just never been like that. Like, I've tried to go on the dates and have fun and just like not think about it. And I always go back to just wanting that intimacy with someone. Like, I love brunch on Sundays and going to the movies and doing like in Roses. Like, I've always been that person. And it's just in this culture, it's so hard for me to find a balance between all of it. And I feel like everyone's so scared all the time to just kind of wear their heart on their sleeve and just to be honest with themselves and with others. And I wrote that to help other people realize that it's okay to be like that. And it's okay to admit that you want to have feelings for someone and to have a relationship and not look for what everyone else is looking for.
Absolutely. So true.
Thank you.
Speaking of emotions, talk about how you write.
Oh boy, I really do write on my emotions. Typically, I do write alone. I have my co-writes, like I said, with Jeff Rose and whatnot. But typically, when I write, I sit down in my bedroom and I feel something, or if I'm going through something, I usually can just spit it out onto words. I just start playing my guitar, and I typically write a song in about an hour to two, depending on what it's about and whatnot. I either come up with the idea first, or I'll just start kind of playing a melody and things will just kind of happen. I'll just write my lyrics down. And that's pretty much it, though. It's pretty straightforward and pretty simple for me.
The song that took the longest amount of time to write, how long did that take you? Up until now? Probably
a co-write, which was probably with Jeff, one of our songs probably. It usually takes us 1 to 2 like sessions of being together. So probably a total of like 6 to like 8 hours, I want to say.
When is the song ready? When is it finished?
I feel like you just know. I'm really not sure. It really is just whatever feels right. Once you feel like the lyrics just all mesh together well and everything just falls kind of into place, and after you've messed around with filler lines and just kind of figuring out how it could sound with the different melody, and it's just as soon as you kind of feel that everything falls into place, I think that's when it's ready.
On a similar subject, once the song is ready, when do you play it live?
I will play a song out like the day I wrote it. As long as I feel comfortable enough and it's easy enough for me to remember everything, I'll go out and play it that night if I really feel that strongly about it.
That's fantastic. Love that.
Thank you.
Jayden Westland is our guest tonight on the tiny stage on 95.9 WATD. My name is John Shea. We introduce you to independent bands and musicians from across New England. We are brought to you by Tiny and Sons Glass. We have to take our first break of the hour. We have a lot more to chat about, more songs to share as well on the tiny stage, so stick around.
And now, back to Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD.
Welcome back to the Almost Famous Tiny Stage, 95.9 WATD, introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across New England. Brought to you by Tiny & Sons Glass. My name is John Shea. Follow us tonight on Facebook and Instagram at Almost Famous Radio, and our podcast, which you can find by searching Almost Famous WATD on your favorite podcast app or at almostfamousradio.com. We are being joined tonight on the tiny stage by Jayden Westland. How you doing?
I'm good.
So for those who missed the first part of the night, give another introduction.
My name is Jayden Westland. I am 24 years old. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, born and raised, and I'm a local musician, singer-songwriter.
Excellent. Share with us your website and your social media pages.
All right. It's pretty straightforward. It is just on Instagram. It is just Jayden.Westland. And then on Facebook, it's just www.facebook.com/JaydenWestlandMusic.
And a single that dropped not that long ago.
Yes, you are right. It's called Are You Gonna Mind? And that will be the last song that I play. I'm excited.
Excellent. And you said that's eventually going to be part of an EP.
Yes, yep.
We've been talking tonight about your music and your history here in the local music community. How did you start off with live performing?
I actually went out to open mics. My dad one day went on, I don't remember if it was social media or if he just Googled it, and he just looked up open mics, and he saw that the Tinker's Son was doing an open mic on a Tuesday night. And this had to have been 5 years ago now. I'm pretty sure I was 19 years old. I was very underage to even drink. And he looked at me, he was like, "You want to go to open mic?" And I was, of course, terrified but excited. I was like, "Okay, let's go." And we drove 45 minutes, and I walked in, I met Jackson, and he was hosting. And I went up, I sang a couple songs, and I instantly met like probably 5 to 10 people that I still communicate with in the South Shore area for music now. And it was just amazing. And ever since then, I just got right into it. I started going to Rivershed. I had everyone telling me all these places to go to. At Rivershed, I met Jeff. And Jeff actually gave me my first opportunity to play out. And we were playing at the BBC off Middle Street in Plymouth. That was my very first gig, 20 years old. And we got to co-host it together, and it was so much fun.
That's
he
cool.
made it so easy
Upstairs?
for me. Downstairs, actually.
Nice.
Right under the staircase.
God.
If you can
that
imagine
is the
both of
creepiest
us.
staircase.
It is so bad. But it was awesome. It was so much fun being able to do that. And he really made it so easy for me to like have a good representation of being a performer like locally like this. Like he's so fun and easygoing, and it just made it a lot easier for me.
I would agree. Let's continue on with the music. What are we listening to next?
All right. This next song is called Chase Me Down. And it's a little bit more of one of my rebel songs.
Okay.
It's kind of your average, it's kind of the opposite of what I was talking about earlier about the whole hookup culture. This is one of those songs that it's a typical pop song that would be on the radio that is about just having fun and living in the moment.
Let's hear it. Jayden Westland, the tiny stage is yours, 95.9 WATD.
Thank you.
I pulled in my drive, never thought to see you inside my place with your body all over me. Down the hallway, you kissing on me. Upstairs, downstairs, fingers running through my hair. It ain't fair, 'cause I know I want this again. So I want you to chase me through the whole house, trapping me down, give you the runaround. Keep you on your toes, never give you control, make you want more, 'cause you're the guy that don't have to try. So you can chase me down tonight, night. Tomorrow morning I'll keep it going, act like tonight was like any other night. Won't give in to make you think I want something. I won't text you or give you a clue that I can't stop thinking about you. And now just wait for you to crawl back to me, 'cause I want you to chase me through the whole house, trapping me down, give you the runaround, keep you on your toes, never give you guy that don't have to try. So you can chase me down tonight, night. Upstairs, downstairs, fingers running through my hair. Upstairs, downstairs, I don't want this to end. So I want you to chase me through the whole house, try to pin me down, give you the runaround, do keep you on your toes, never give you control, make you want more, 'cause you're the guy that don't have to try. So you can chase me down tonight, night. You can chase me down tonight, night. Yeah.
Awesome. Jayden Westland on the tiny stage, 95.9 WATD. Talk about how you wrote that.
Oh my gosh. I remember I really liked this guy, and that's how it always starts. But he was one that was not a guy that I would wait around for and date, and he was always the one that like got all the girls that he wanted, and I wanted to be the girl that he would chase. So ironically, it would just kind of happened like that, and I never really ever went for guys like that, and so I figured it was something to write a song about. And I do feel like it's very, very common, but I kind of wanted I wanted to have fun with it and just let go and have the moment of writing where I just didn't have to really think about being in love or like looking for something specific. It was just really what a lot of people my age go through all the time, or that enjoy it and whatnot. So it was fun.
Do you tend to write from personal experience, or do you have that ability to write from somebody else's perspective?
It definitely depends. I typically write from personal experience, but I have written songs too in the past where I will have someone walk up to me and say, kind of as a test, like, oh, can you write about this? And I have gone ahead and done that too.
When you write a song about somebody, do you ever tell them it's about them?
Oh, for sure. I've actually had many guys, more recently actually, that I've like gone on dates with or have dated, have made jokes to me when the relationship came to an end or whatever it was came to an end, and they've literally looked at me and said, "Can you not Taylor Swift me?" And I said, "Oh, honey, your time will come. Don't you worry."
Time to get like an MP3 in their email.
Yeah, right. I have shown guys like songs I have written about them. It's usually I usually am never on like bad terms with exes. Like I never have hard feelings, and it's more like I'll sit there and thank them for all the lesson they taught me or that I learned, and it ends up being more of a like, thank you for this, and like, this is what I got out of it. It's never really to guilt trip them. I don't know if it actually does. It probably does, but it's very, very rare I actually sit there and show them a song. But usually if I do, it's really in like a healthier way, I guess, and there's no hard feelings between us anymore. Do
you have lyrics that are too personal to share?
Oh my goodness. I'm actually not really sure now that I think about that. I do, actually. I do have a couple songs that are very, very personal that I never play out or share.
Do you think you will eventually?
I'm not sure.
Maybe for the EP or something?
Maybe we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
The deep catalog of Jayden Westland. You never know what you're going to hear.
That is very true.
Share with us again your website and your social media pages.
My Facebook page is www.facebook.com/Jayden Westland Music. And then my Instagram page is just Jayden.Westland.
Very cool. Yeah. Let's continue on with music. What are we listening to next?
All right. This next song is called Did It to Myself. And I wrote this actually not even a year ago. And I basically broke up with an ex-boyfriend because I didn't feel like it was right between us. And then 6 months down the road, I sat there and I really kicked myself because he was just a very, very good guy. And I really did regret it.
No reversing the breakup?
No, I did try it too. I did. But I learned, I was like, all right, you know what? I did this to myself, so I have to move on from it.
All right. Jayden Westland, it's all yours. WATD.
as a little fun fact, I did write this on piano.
Way back when 10 months ago we were friends till I wanted more. So I got you and you got me, but I wasn't quite ready. And I let you fall anyways into love, hoping I'd do the same. My feelings just didn't grow and they couldn't keep up with yours. Tried to make myself fall in love, but I could only try so hard. You would have given me the stars, and I couldn't even give you my heart. And now I'll miss you 6 months out, 'cause leaving you, I did it to myself. I didn't leave you just because, and I never wanted to mess you up. But I had a lot to figure out, to work on me without any help. If I had the chance to redo this, do it right instead of losing it. 'Cause my feelings just didn't grow and they couldn't keep up with yours. Tried to make myself fall in love, but I could only try so hard. You would have given me the stars, and I couldn't even give you my heart. Now I miss you 6 months out, 'cause leaving you, I did it to myself. Time. I'm sure your new girl does it alright, while I sit here on the kitchen floor wishing I could have loved you more. And I'm sure feelings have grown, they always keep up with yours. She isn't scared to fall in love, she doesn't have to try so hard. I bet you give her all the stars, and she gives you her whole heart. While I miss you 6 months out, 'cause leaving you, I did it to myself. I did it to myself. I did it to myself.
Really nice. Jayden Westland.
Thank you.
On the tiny stage, WATD. You said that song started on piano. Walk us through how that one happened and where it is now.
So ironically, I know I said I only play one instrument, but I did buy a piano about a year ago, a little keyboard, and I was messing around and figuring out how to turn guitar chords into piano keys, basically. And I figured out how to do, it was just C, G, F, and then G again. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And it was very, very simple, and I literally just pressed the keys in the chords, and I just started writing the song. And like I said, I had so much regret from like my last relationship and leaving him, and I sat there and I'm like, he was just the wrong guy, or the right guy at the wrong time. And it just, those chords like in a piano form just sounded so beautiful. And I wrote it probably, I want to say a half hour to an hour with that song. And then I ended up actually going to Jeff's studio, I think I want to say a week or two later, and I showed him the song, and he actually did a little bit of a demo for me, and we got to record it, and he added a lot more to the keyboard, and it was really cool. And I saw it come to life a little bit. So I would really love to put that song on EP or out as a single as well.
Has the guy heard the song?
He has. I did send it to him when I wrote it about him, it was in my moment of trying to get him back. And it did not work, but it's okay.
Swing and a miss.
It was. It's okay.
How has your method of writing evolved over the years?
Oh my gosh, so much. I feel like my writing has really gone so diverse. I feel like when I first started, I would write very typical like songs about just like drinking and partying and love, and not a lot of depth to them though. And whereas now I feel like my songs tell a lot more of a story and have a lot more depth to them, and they're just very more mature than they used to be. And I'm very appreciative of just the growth that I've had, especially just learning new chords here and there and whatnot, and really trying to like improve my ability of playing guitar has really helped me a lot with new melodies and just new ideas.
What is something that you know now that you wish you knew when you first started playing music and writing?
Oh boy. Honestly, to not care what other people think. My first single actually that just came out, the one called Are You Gonna Mind, I was really hesitant on putting this out as a single because it's a ballad, it's slower, it's not everyone will relate to it, but it tells something that I really have strongly felt before. And I feel like a huge thing with music, and I actually, from being around Morgan Johnston and like going to Nashville and seeing all this, like anytime she'll show me a new song that she's so passionate about but she's hesitant about putting out, I always push her to put that out, because those songs that you're so passionate about, if you have true fans and true like real like friends that love your music, like they will listen to it no matter what, and they'll love it because you love it. And I really think that's a huge thing that I've been learning probably the past couple of years with music.
We talked off air before we started the broadcast tonight about Lori McKenna. We're both big fans of hers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a Nashville legend, South Shore born. And she was saying when she was here in 2014 that some of the songs that hit the most with her fans are the songs that she didn't think anybody would relate to.
I fully agree. Definitely. I fully agree in that. I actually, one of my biggest artists that is inspirations for me is Eric Church. And I hear him all the time just saying, like, screw what other people think. Like, you put out music that you want to put out, and if they're truly your fans, they're going to listen to it anyways. And I've really always lived by that. And I definitely agree with Lori McKenna as well. It's amazing how it does work like that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the song, but it's Lainey Wilson, and she sings Things a Man Ought to Know. And
yes.
It just really came on country radio. And it's funny, actually, almost 2 years ago now, for my 23rd birthday, I actually went out to Nashville, and I went into a bar with Morgan. Lainey Wilson was there. And it was the coolest thing because I knew that song from Morgan showing it to me. And I sat there and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, it's a ballad, it's slower, but like this could be on country radio. And I got to actually sit with Lainey Wilson and like just talk to her about it. And I got to just tell her how much I appreciated that song and how true it was. And that's how women like and men need to hear like love. And it's so cool hearing it 2 years later on the radio. And even though it's a ballad, it's so powerful. And I think it's such a beautiful thing in country music. You really can write anything and put it out there, and there's hope for everything.
Speaking of which, something that is slowly starting to change, but it's not quite there yet, the issue with female artists and country radio. What is your opinion on that?
I think female artists are evolving so much, definitely in the past couple of years. It's definitely been, music in general, I feel like is so male dominated. I say it actually all the time of just playing out at local bars. Like, I'll go out with one of my guy friends and like he'll be playing out and he will wear a t-shirt and jeans and sneakers, and it's totally normal. He sounds great. Everyone loves him, but I always have had the pressure. I feel like I'm like, I have to do my hair. I have to do my makeup. I have to put on the cutest clothes. Like, I have to have like sex appeal. Like, I have to have all this stuff. And I feel like I've always been under people, and now I feel like country music especially, and music in general, is evolving with women where it's just they're coming up on top so much more. Like, and you have your females like Miranda Lambert, Carrie Underwood, Carly Pierce. Like, there's so many amazing female vocalists, artists, everything. It's just amazing how much it really is evolving, and I think it's super healthy for it, like, because women are just as talented as men, is like, especially in music. It's amazing to me.
And I think it starts with the ground level too, like Kara Tondorf, who owns the Rivershed with her wife in Scituate.
Yeah.
You know, a female small business owner,
right,
supporting female artists and entrepreneurs. I think that's amazing.
Right, it is amazing. Just like we were talking actually before the show, I went to a Lady A concert a couple weeks ago, and it was one of Carly Pearce. I believe it was Carly Pearce, one of her songs. And it was all female, like, produced. It was written, sang, everything. And it was the coolest thing to know that. Like, it was just amazing.
We have 2 more songs left. Let's do your second to last song, and then we'll take a break and close out with your final song. But what are we listening to next?
Right. This song is called Alabama, Tennessee. Excuse me. Speaking of country music. And I wrote this song a couple years ago, and I wrote it because I actually was starting to just hear so many songs with the word Alabama in it, and it was just such a place, and I love Nashville, Tennessee. And I wanted to write it because every single country song is about a girl sitting on a truck, and she looks pretty, and she's just eye candy, and I kind of wanted to swap it around and make it about a guy.
Let's hear it. Jayden Westland, the tiny stage is yours, WATD.
On over, every girl stares with fire in their eyes. He's the perfect thing to get a hold of on a Saturday night. Stronger than a bottle of top shelf whiskey, he'll keep you buzzed till the morning light. Cowboy boots, dark blue jeans, held together by a buckle from Wyoming. Hey, Alabama, swinging on over in Tennessee. Salt organ anthem mixed with hell and something a little sweet. You know a guy like you needs a girl like me to get a little dirty in your Chevy. So hey, Alabama, swinging on over in Tennessee. You'll stand there looking pretty while he talks about his truck's engine. You'll nod your head and smile all night just to keep his attention. Probably won't hear a single word that rolls off his lips. The cigarette he's smoking will make you crave to be his addiction. Hey, Alabama, swinging on over in Tennessee. Taller and handsome mixed with hell and something a little sweet. You know a guy like you needs a girl like me to get a little dirty in your old Chevy. So hey, Alabama, swinging on over in Tennessee. Alabama, the state has never sounded so smooth. Tennessee whiskey has got nothing on you. Hey, Alabama, swinging on over in Tennessee. Tall organ anthem mixed with hell and something a little sweet. You know a guy like you needs a girl like me to get a little dirty in your Chevy. So hey, Alabama, swinging on over in Tennessee. Swinging on over with me, Alabama.
Jayden Westland, 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that.
Thank you.
So, a song you wish you had written.
Ooh, oh my goodness. I honestly couldn't even tell you. There are so many. I do want to say, I want to say Things a Man I Don't Know by Lainey Wilson. That really is a huge song for me. Or I'm trying to think. I did have another one on top of my head, but I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm comfortable with that.
We are up against our final break of the night. We have time for one more song. Does that work for you?
Works for me.
Let's do it after this. 95.9 WATD. Jayden Westland is joining us tonight on the tiny stage.
And now, back to Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD.
Welcome back to the Almost Famous Tiny Stage Hour, 95.9 WATD. Introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across New England. My name is John Shea. Tonight we're being joined in studio by Jayden Westland. How you doing?
I'm good.
Give one final introduction, if you would.
Again, my name is Jayden Westland. I'm 24 years old. I'm locally from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, born and raised. And I'm a local country pop artist, singer, songwriter, musician.
And website, social media, anything like that?
Yep, my Instagram is jayden.westland, just like how it sounds. And then my Facebook is www.facebook.com/JaydenWestlandMusic.
Cool. And the single?
The single is called Are You Gonna Mind?
Cool. And that's available right now?
It is.
Excellent. Talk about how it happened.
So with this song, I was dating a guy for about a year and a half, and out of the blue, he just up and left. It was very abrupt. We never had fights, nothing, and it just didn't work for him, and he up and left. And as soon as he did, I kind of sat there. It was a very just like cut and dry. Didn't talk after that. And I just sat there. I'm like, is he really going to care, like, the next time I'm dating someone? Like, doing all the stuff that we used to do, like, going on our trips, him buying me flowers, like, all this stuff. Like, because we were just so infatuated with each other and so in love, and he seemed so about it. I just sat there and I wondered. I was like, is he really going to leave and then not care the next time I'm with someone new? And I think that's pretty much it about it.
Well, let's hear it. Thank you again. Get home safely. Safe travels back to the Cape, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Jayden Westland, the tiny stage is yours. 95.9 WATD.
Are you gonna mind the way he runs his fingers across my face? Or the way he starts to feel like home when I go over his place? Are you gonna care the way he cheers me on at the local dive? Or the way he looks at me when the music's on at a stoplight? Well, I don't think that you have the right to say or think that he won't be Mr. Right. Are you gonna mind when there's a day that I have a man who takes that place, the one who keeps me warm at night and always says I love you twice? Are you gonna mind when you slip out my mind? Are you gonna mind when he meets my family for the first time? Or takes me to the mountains to get away for a few nights? Are you gonna care when he buys me roses on a Tuesday? Or when we stay up late talking about our future kids' names? Are you gonna mind when there's a day that I have a man who takes that place, the one who keeps me warm at night and always says I love you twice? Are you gonna mind when you slip out my mind? One day I'll walk down the alley in white, and you won't be the man on the other side. I hope you don't mind. Are you gonna mind when there's a day that I have a man who takes your place, the one who keeps me warm at night and and always says I love you twice. Are you gonna mind when you slip out my mind?